What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades. Hope everybody's doing all right today. Hope you had a wonderful week in the markets. I'm ending the day up $71.78. To be completely transparent with you, I'm probably only up about $20 after fees and commissions. I probably spent about $50 on fees and commissions today, and so really not a great day here. But my week has been pretty darn good. I've been green every single day this week, and this is the first time this has happened in like 10 weeks, guys. 10 weeks. And I'll tell you what, it's been nerve-wracking for me, but we're doing better, and we're getting more of a handle of the market. I've been able to develop some pretty cool little pullback type shorting strategies in this market. And as a matter of fact, today NVIDIA was one of those. I was actually up on NVIDIA. I had done a little bit of trading, as you can see over here. I'm not going to go through all these, but here is where I re-entered a position with just 10 shares. And I was looking for a good move back down to these areas right here. I saw that it was hitting on, it was finding support here where there was this previous area of resistance. But I knew that if it broke, that, because NVIDIA is so far overextended, I knew we could get a good solid few dollar move on that 10 shares. And I was really just kind of trying to pad the wallet at the time. But it started coming up, and I went ahead and got in here with another 10 shares. And then it came up here, and I got in here with 20 shares. So I had a total of 40 shares. It was a 112 add-in, right? And all I needed was for it to come back to VWAP to be able to make a little bit of a $40 profit. Well, it continued moving against me, and there was actually a time where I almost added another 40 shares right here. And I should have done it, guys, because I would have done very well on this drop right here, but I never added. And so this was my fault. This was my fault for not adding at a place that was a very clear level where I could have added. And I could have added here, and then if it continued to move against me, I could have just quickly gotten out. And I basically would have, it wouldn't have been too bad of a loss on the day. I probably would have just ended the day down maybe, I don't know, $50. So it would have been fine. And I was prepared to take that loss, but I didn't add, and I should have added, because guys, I had at this time I had 40 shares at a 360.09 average. And look, it came all the way down. There was one point where I thought to myself, man, I could get out right now, break even. But then I thought, no, you didn't hold through all this just to get out break even. And I knew that this was going to test VWAP again. And it did actually over here, but it just didn't test it right here when I was looking for it to test. And so ended up pulling back. And right here at this moment is when the SPY was getting bought up through this important level marked out here. And what is this level? This level right here actually represents two things. It represents the previous day close and a very critical daily level. And so it was just getting bought right up through that level and pushing pretty hard. And so, so when I saw that NVIDIA was strong and it didn't even make a full recovery back to VWAP, and the SPY was strong and broke through the daily level in the previous day close and was getting bought up like crazy, I just thought, you know what, I need to get out on the next pullback. So it pulled back down through the moving averages, and I went ahead and got out. I took like a $30 loss, but then this happened. And had I just stuck in this move, I would have made, I probably would have made 50, maybe $60. And so little disappointed that happened. Admittedly, did a little revenge trading here on Facebook. I got in here and I got out here, and I waited through this whole move. This was another one. And by the way, I say revenge trading, but this I had very carefully planned this trade. I had earlier been watching these levels right here. This was a pretty key area of resistance at 235.32, and so it came up, and I went ahead and got short at 235.20. Or 235.26 rather. And yeah, you can see right here on the order book, 235.26, 100 shares. And so, and I went ahead and bought 50 of them when it dropped to 235. And, and it just, it looked like it might not break back down through. And I'm glad I did unload some of those shares, because it did get bought up and it ended up coming up here. But this was another area. And this is just like NVIDIA. This is another area where I should have gotten in, because I was watching these levels over here. And I said, if it comes up to 236, I ought to go ahead and just average back in. Had I done that, this move right here would have been much bigger. Facebook could have easily been a $60, $70 win today. And I ended up going short again and just scalping real quick. But, I tell you what, guys, I admittedly, with everything going on with NVIDIA and the fact that SPY actually broke up through two key areas today. First of all, SPY held this support. This is a line that was already marked out, and it's been marked out on this chart probably since ever since back here. And it was holding that support. It held it very well. And not only did it hold it, but it broke up through VWAP, and I had this trend line drawn, and it had literally respected this trend line every time, but even right here. But then finally it broke out, and look at how you can tell when a trend line breaks. I mean, it breaks hard, and it just got bought all the way up here. Okay, and then started riding those moving averages, guys. Just held those moving averages and ended up getting pushed up through these levels. And so I had no idea what was going to happen. And honestly, I didn't want to take any chances. So I traded a little more safely than I probably should have. Had I remained a little bit more aggressive and just kind of stuck to my plan, I could have definitely had a lot more reward than $71 today. But nonetheless, guys, for being such, a difficult day in the markets, to still end in green is good. And so, hopefully you guys have done well. Also, I know what it's like to go into a holiday weekend after a bad week of trading, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling, especially when they are holiday weekends and maybe you're going to be around family. There could be family cookouts for Memorial Day weekend or whatever. And, man, I've been there. I've been there when, you have to show up to these family events and you just kind of smile, you put on a smile and you act okay, but then they're going to ask you about trading. Well, so how'd trading go this week? And man, and when you've had a bad week or when you've lost money, it can be difficult. It can be difficult. And for most of us, it's not even about the money. I mean, I think most of us are probably wise enough to know that the money is just a means to an end. Okay, most of us get into this because we want to make money, yes, but it's typically in order to do something else, or it's so that we can do something else. It's, we want to be able to work from home. We want to be our own boss. We want to be, we want to be able to pursue other hobbies or interests or other passions, and we want the financial freedom for that. It's freedom. Okay, so so when you have a bad week and you've lost money and you feel like you're even further away from achieving those dreams that you have fought so hard for. I mean, us as day traders, we are in such a challenging field and we fight for it. We fight for it. We spend hours upon hours upon hours. Most people just don't understand, and they never will. They never will. They will never understand the kind of hustle that goes behind this. They'll never understand the kind of time, the rigorous training, the hours and hours of research, studying, educating ourselves, disciplining ourselves, learning how to monitor all, just all of the ongoings in the stock market, all of the technical analysis, all of the fundamental analysis. People just won't understand. And when you put in that kind of work, day in, day out, from sun up to sundown, and you have a bad week, especially at the start of a 3-day holiday weekend, I know that feeling, and it's not a good one. But here's the silver lining in it. That feeling you have is the slap on the wrist that you need, and that's how it needs to be taken. Let it be that pain point, that point of pain that you need to feel, because right now, all of us as day traders, as retail traders, it's just us and our computers. It's just us and the broker platform. Okay? Nobody's gonna discipline us. Nobody's gonna it's not like when you trade for these institutions and you've got a boss or bosses standing over you and making sure that you're following the rules. You break a rule, you're gonna get fired, or they'll at least put you in a simulator for a couple weeks, and eventually you could get fired. You break the rules enough times, you're going to get fired. You're going to lose your job. Okay? Well, when you're at home working for yourself, nobody's here to slap you on the wrist. Nobody's here to discipline you. Nobody's here to, hand you any kind of consequences. Okay? The only consequence that you have is, obviously losing money. But in self-reflecting and in making sure that you really remember why you're doing this, don't even think about that. Think about what the end is, because the money is the means to an end for you. So don't think about the money. Think about the end. Think about what it is you're trying to achieve. And if you don't come back in here next week and follow your rules, you're gonna fall even further away from those dreams, from those goals, from those personal goals and things that you would like to accomplish. Okay? And that's the silver lining in this. Think about how you got to go face your family right now. And you're gonna have to, when they ask you how's trading going, you're gonna have to tell them. Or maybe you just tell them you don't want to talk about it. But then they're gonna know how trading's going, right? But let that be your motivation. Embrace it. Embrace it. Embrace having to go and grit your teeth and force a smile on your face. Embrace that. And just say to yourself and self-reflect and reminding yourself, I don't ever want to feel this way again. I don't want to ever come into another holiday weekend again. I want to enjoy my time with my family. When I see my family and they say, how did trading go this week? I want to say it went great, man. It was great. It's awesome. Now, even the most experienced day traders have their moments. And, even if you do make a full-time livelihood of doing this and you're able to be pretty consistent with it, you'll still have those weekends. But in those times and in those moments, it won't be so bad because everybody will know that you're a baller, right? So it's like, tough week in the markets, but it's cool. But right now, while you're building this dream of yours, while you're working towards that goal, weekends like this can be pretty hard if you've had a bad week in the markets. But like I said, embrace it and let it get you motivated for coming in next week and doubling down that much harder on your rules. You can do it. You can do it. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, listen, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and consider joining us in the live stream. I run a live stream right here on the channel, Monday through Friday, beginning roughly around 9 a.m. And to all my live stream regulars, was awesome seeing you guys today, as always. And I'm very much looking forward to trading side by side with you guys again next week. We'll be back here Tuesday, obviously. Again, it's a 3-day holiday weekend, Memorial Day being Monday. So we'll see you Tuesday. And hope you guys have a great weekend and enjoy your holiday. Take care.